We're catching up on Snow here at GameX, and it's a game that's been in the boiler for a bit. It's been cooking, and it's on Steam Early Access right now. And it's can you just tell us about the vision for the game, because it's a little bit different than anything we've seen on Snow before.
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to make a game that hadn't been made before for a genre that has been sort of neglected over the last, especially the last console generation. There've always been games like SSX and Tony Hawk, but we saw what Skate did, which was creating authentic experience, was really the best way of doing it. And we thought they did a great job, but they didn't do the best job because they still force you down certain paths. So we wanted to make a game that was authentic, but also gave you as a player the ability to approach the game how you want it. So there's no story or anything. You can ride around and tell your own story, or just ride around and hang out with your friends.
It sort of speaks to the current gamer who wants to share and create things and be creative with the game, and not just sort of go hunt the high score and do tricks, and that's what we're used to in a snowboard game.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw already, I mean, we released on Steam Early Access 3 weeks ago, and in 1 week we already had some like really well edited videos of people riding around the mountain doing tricks. So that's something that we want to definitely encourage people to do, and just live the game how they want it to be.
Yeah, and the difference, of course, is that it's not like a button-based trick system. It's more like you really have to sort of own your skills in a sort of simple setup, but there's a lot of depth to it.
Exactly. I mean, we built the game physics. We just updated the physics again to even more accurate physics to skiing, and then all the controls and everything is all dynamic and really tries to mimic how it feels in real life. Obviously there's going to be a gap because you're using a controller, but we think it feels really good, and over the next year we're going to definitely improve it a lot.
So first person view was something that's a little bit scary to me. I don't ski myself. I've tried it, but it's ended horribly badly for me. But it sort of gives you a better idea of what it's actually like to be there on the mountain, and you don't have the spatial awareness to the same degree as when you're in third person. Can you tell us a little bit how this first person mode works?
Yeah, I mean, first person was kind of we implemented it for fun, and then we tried it a little bit when it implemented, but we forgot about it, and then about 6 months later, after the game had obviously been a lot more had been developed in the game, we tried it out at Gamescom and realized, wait, this actually works. And so we did a little bit more work on it, and then when we released it with Steam Early Access, we saw people really liked it and continue to want to play. So we have been working on it a bit more. We still have some bigger things to do with it, but we think it does actually give you that experience of what these pros see, especially when they're doing crazy tricks. It's kind of scary to do it, but when you actually get better at the game in third person, then you go to first person, you can actually sort of experience it in the right way.
Yeah, it was fun because you showed off some tricks there, and I just, you just realize how difficult it is to land one of those spinning tricks, because you just lose track of your where you're at.
Exactly, and I think with Oculus, because we've started working on support there, you will be able to spot your landing a bit more, because you'll be able to look around while you're in the air and figure out.
Have the more spatial awareness as well, where the ground is.
Exactly. It's important to always be able to see your skis, and in this version you don't really see your skis all the time, so you don't always know which way they're facing. But with Oculus you can see them a bit better, and you can always look down and see, so that helps a lot.
So with Oculus Rift, what have you found sort of working with it, and how is it behaving?
It's great. I mean, CryEngine comes with Oculus support, and they're still working on it, so it's still I guess they're calling it beta, but it took us a day to set up. The Oculus is a fantastic piece of hardware, and we're looking forward to showing it off and getting it sort of officially supported, and hopefully get our hands on the 1080p versions.
But you'll be able to play with Oculus both in third person and first person, but it sounds like first person is really where you want to be.
Yeah, I don't think we could check out third person. We haven't set it up right now, and I don't think it's worth it. When you're doing...
The point is first.
Yeah, with VR the point is first person. There are people that do third person games with the Oculus, which I think is a mistake, because the idea is that it's through your eyes, so that it works much better.
So what's the plan ahead? Right now it's like an open world that you can explore and do, and what kind of things do you want to flesh the experience out with?
Yeah, so most important right now is we're getting multiplayer in. We're going to hopefully have it in the next few weeks. That's going to allow our community to grow even more and people to start playing with each other, and also the videos that people are making and different things people are going to be doing on the mountain will be interesting for us to see, so that we can start figuring out how we then create game modes around that. And then from there it'll be adding game modes like events, challenges and competitions, basically structured gameplay where you can be either by yourself on a leaderboard or with your friends race around the mountain doing tricks. And then we're going to also be adding snowboarding sometime next year, hopefully early next year, because obviously there's a huge demographic of people that want to play snowboarding games that don't have a snowboarding game. So that will be the next part as well. And then we're going to be going free to play sometime next year, before the summer, hopefully.
So when the difference between skis and snowboard in a physics-based game for you guys, how does it? I mean, I'm sure you've tried it out a little bit and tested things. What is it there that makes it sort of more difficult to implement that, or that you picked it later?
Yeah, it's really, for us, the physics is the same. There might be some slight differences, but in the end, the actual physical systems that you created, are they going to be the same? It's really just the time to get all the animations done and create some, some clothing and some work with some of the snowboarding brands to get their snowboards in the game. So it was really, for us, we saw that there's never really been any focus on skiing in games, so we started with skiing because we knew that people would appreciate that, and then once we had time, we'd do snowboarding.
So it's a free-to-play game. That's the idea. Of course, Steam Early Access now. But what kind of business model will there be when you sort of officially launch? So
when we go free-to-play, we're going to be monetizing the player in several different ways. One of them will be customization. So we've partnered with over a dozen real brands, such as Red Bull, Scott, Full Tilt, Armada, and we will provide their entire catalogs of products in the game to customize your character with, and then also competitions. So basically, any of these structured gameplays, you'll be able to purchase a pack of races or big air events or something like that, all on the mountain to set your score on a leaderboard.
Basically, free roam is always going to be completely free for anyone who wants to join.
Exactly. Free roam will always be free. Multiplayer will be free. You'll be able to spend as much time on the mountain as you want. We're never going to limit your experience. It's really adding experience if you want it to be there.
Have you looked at consoles for this as well?
Yeah, we've talked to Sony. They are absolutely amazing and are really, really putting a great focus on indie developers. So we are talking to them about bringing Snow to a PS4 next year. Just, we're three guys, so it's a lot of work to get that up and running, and we need to figure out some things on the business side as well.
Interesting. But so people can basically jump in whenever they want on early access then?
Yeah, it's on early access right now. It's $15, which should be seen as supporting the developers and having a chance to be part of the development. We have a really open development philosophy. We have shared all of the console commands, all the variables that we have controlling all the physics in the game with players. They are giving us feedback, and they'll be the first ones that get all the exclusive content when it comes out.
It's not a lot of money anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, 100 crowns here is definitely worth the money. I mean, we've got people that have been spending over 40 hours already in 2 or 3 weeks in the game, so that's definitely money back.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.